Hi. Hello everyone. Today we're going to be starting Recipe for Turnabout, which is pretty exciting, I guess. Heads up for this is a blanket warning for some transphobic stereotypes, I guess. The defendant is a little, yeah. The defendant is not great in this one. So why don't we just get into it? That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. It wasn't me! I swear it wasn't me! The evidence and testimony we have seen and heard are conclusive. The victim was alone at his table when he drank from that poisoned cup of coffee. No, you're wrong. I know what I saw. I saw... Don't know what this red text is. Sorry. Oh, would you look at that? Perception. In 3. I'm kidding. I saw someone else there. A man. He's the real killer. Oh, I forgot about this. Fancy graphics. In the fancy cup. Why would anyone believe me? I'd say that pretty much wraps this case up, wouldn't you? Mr. Wright? This court finds the defendant guilty. God damn it. So we've lost before we already started. This court is adjourned. Interesting case. January 6th, 10:03 a.m. Oh no, where were you January 6th? The start of the new year always makes me feel like I can take on the whole world. I bet it does, Maya. So, I decided that our resolution should be... Sorry! Take on the world! What do you think? Sure, whatever, Maya. But I think maybe you've had more than enough mistletoe cake. You should get to a hospital if you've had mistletoe cake, because mistletoe is fucking poisonous. Never! You've got to eat a lot of cake during New Year's. It's practically a tradition. Like watching the fireworks on TV or playing a board game. Hey, pal! Hi, Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe. Happy New Year, Detective! Likewise. Now listen up, Wright. I wanna... Here's to another fruitful year of lawyer-police cooperation. Yeah, me too. Alright, pal, you've got some explaining to... Have you got a holiday present for me, Detective? A what? Well, Here, this. It's really nothing much, but... Yay, thanks! Look, pal, we need to have a talk. Take a seat. Hey, what about Pearly? You haven't forgotten her present, have you? No. No. Are you doing this on purpose? Guess I'm busted. How did you like my first practical joke of the year? Very funny, pal. Let's see how funny you think it is when I show you this. What is it? A magazine? Hey, I want to see. Deadly poisoning brings guilty verdict. Defense attorney Wright trounced. Trounced? Let me see that. The defense attorney gave an almost childishly amateur performance yesterday. What the heck is this? It's a report, pal, about you. Listen to this. Mr. Wright must take full responsibility for the ruling in this case. Well, and don't tell me you don't remember anything about it. I don't remember anything about it. What was that issue from, anyway? December of last year, which I guess makes it last month. Which makes it old news, you mean? But I wasn't involved in a poisoning case in December. You would know, wouldn't you? So what do you think this is all about, Nick? If it wasn't you, pal, then that leaves only one possibility. No way. You don't mean... a phony Nick? This must be Gumshoe's idea of a joke. Guess he's starting off the year with one, too. Says I was trounced and my client was found guilty. So, what are you gonna do about it, pal? What do you mean, what am I gonna do about it? Well, it's your fault that the judge found the defendant guilty in this case. My fault? How do you figure? Because the Phoenix Wright is super famous now. Well, maybe only sort of. Yeah, see what happens when you hotshots get stuck getting too full of yourselves? But I didn't do anything wrong. At least not that I can remember. You better make this right, pal. Now. And that means taking the case back to court. Got it? Sounds like we've got our first case in the new year. Let's tackle it with gusto. No, the judge already issued a guilty verdict once in this case. It's not going to be easy to get it overturned. This game has some pretty unique cases. I guess that New Year's resolution is going to have to wait until next year. So you're taking the case, right? Good. I'm gonna head over to the courthouse then. After that, I'll go back to the precinct. Drop by if you need something, okay, pal? Okay. I guess people are starting to know the name Phoenix Wright. If a client entrusted a case to me based on my reputation, I guess I am kind of responsible. But why would someone want to impersonate me? What sort of a guy would do that? I don't know. Maybe a guy who very much enjoys, I don't know. So, what's our first move? I guess we go down to the detention center and talk. Wait a sec, Nick. This person's behind bars because of you. Whoever it is isn't going to be jumping at the chance to meet you, right? Hey, let's get one thing straight. It wasn't me. It was a fake me that did this. I wonder if he looks exactly like you. You're phony. Jean F. I mean... We're not doing backwards names. I hope not. What kind of a name for an evil double is Jin Aop anyway? Ah, Nick, I've got it! If you're going to ask whether I've got a twin brother, the answer is no. Spoil sport. Did you notice that Gumshoe was acting weirder than usual, or was it just me? What do you mean? I mean, he was really worked up. Like a guy who's just found out he's going to be a dad or something. Yeah, I guess he was acting kind of strange. Maybe he realized he's got strong feelings for you, Nick. Considering how we interact, I seriously doubt that, Maya. But then again, him and Edgeworth... Well, if he wasn't nervous because of you, then maybe it's because of our new guilty client? Let's just go to, the detention center. Wonder who the defendant is this time? This is so nerve-wracking, waiting to meet our new client. I wonder just what kind of person you tricked and got found guilty. Keep it down, Maya. That's kind of talk could ruin it. Ha! Oh, hi, Maggie. How could you, Mr. Wright? How could you do this to me? You put me in solitary. I haven't been able to stop crying. Aren't you... Yes, I am. I am totally and utterly let down. Are you... Don't pretend you don't know me. It's me, Maggie, remember? Maggie Bird. I love you, Maggie. Maggie Bird. Ah! From the first case of the second game. Maggie Bird. She's the policewoman I defended that one time. She was accused of murdering her lover. He was a cop, too. What are you doing in here? Didn't I get you a quick... Oh, sure. Very funny. After that fifth-rate defense job, you come in here and start making jokes? You better hurry up and tell her what happened, Nick. Oh. I see. So that's where we stand right now. Oh, she's so cute. I'm sorry you've been caught up in another murder. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. I vaguely remember her saying the exact same thing last time. But I don't mind. What's one more disaster in my life? At least now the real Mr. Wright is here with me. I won't let the world keep me down, sir. She's so positive. And I love her for it. She's so real. So, how come you dress like that, Maggie? Last year you looked so sharp in that police uniform. I was fired after that incident last year. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. I don't mind one bit. I enjoyed being on the force, but I think it was time for me to move on. So, what do you do now? In the second act of The Life of Maggie Bird, I'm playing the role of a waitress. A waitress? At Tribulations. Yes, in a French restaurant. It's a small place, but it's quite fashionable. My charming smile and shapely figure came through for me. And the owner, Mr. Armstrong, hired me straight away, sir. And then you got into this mess straight away, right? Yeah, you could put it that way. I was wrong. It's not the defendant, it's just a random dude. Okay. This whole mess started on the 3rd of last month, and it happened at Tribulations. Tribulations? Yes, it's a restaurant where good service and a friendly smile are always included. Oh. There were 2 men at the table, both drinking coffee. A Phoenix impersonator with bad sideburns, and a tech geek. And then... man slipped some poison into the victim's cup. The victim took just one sip and was gasping for air. I was so shocked I passed out. Hey, hold on there, Maggie. What? You keep calling the guy the victim. Didn't you know the guy who was killed? Not at all. I'd never even seen the guy before. Oh. So she wouldn't have had a motive to kill him then, I guess. And the other man, the killer, you saw him, right? Of course. A good waitress must be attentive to the clientele. So you saw the killer, but you were found guilty of the crime anyway. How come? You tell me, Mr. Wright! Ugh. Guess the answer to my question is my phony. Anyway, she saw the killer. Better see if I can get a description of the guy. So, if you saw the murderer, why were you still convicted? Because no one else saw. Saw what? The other man. The one who put the poison in the victim's coffee. Everyone testified that way. Mr. Armstrong, the customer, everyone. The victim was sitting alone at his table the whole time. Very risque of you. But how's that possible? I don't know. But nobody, not one person, would believe me, sir. Even Phoenix Wright, my one last hope for a fair trial, failed me. What a pathetic defense. My granny could have done a better job. Look, that wasn't me, okay? And then, I found something a bit incriminating in my apron pocket. Great. What? A small bottle of poison. What? Poison? It was in your pocket? Well, I passed out when the victim collapsed. The killer must have slipped the poison into my pocket when I was unconscious. And no one else saw this other guy? No, sir. That's what everyone said. But I don't see how they could have missed him. The other guy. I was the one who took the coffee to the two men. Oh? And what was your impression of them? Well, when I first saw them, I kind of thought they might be in the music industry. In music? How come? Well, one of them had some sort of earpiece and an emo musician's look about him. And there was a sample CD on the table, sir. An earpiece and a sample CD. Huh. Did you get a look at the CD at all? It had the band's name written on it. I think it was MC something. They must have been preparing for their debut, I guess. So it was a band CD. Maybe a promo disc? Maybe it was MC Screwdriver. Get serious, Maya. Would you buy the CD of a group named that? What was the name of that group again? MC Hacksaw? No, MC... And what about the killer? What did he look like? Well, I don't really remember. Only that he was a young man. Well built like the victim, really. Okay. So what about this magazine clipping? Oh yeah, I need to ask you about this. Hey! This article's about my case! Can you tell me anything about the guy who was pretending to be me? Yes, sir. It was the morning after I'd been arrested. I met you at the visitor's room here. You were wearing one of your super sharp suits? Me? Yes, you, Mr. Wright. Oh, he looks so tired in this photo, it's amazing. Hey, Maggie! Was my evil double I am there too? No, I don't remember phoning you, Maya. Ask for one? Oh, it would have been so cool. But then you got really worked up and passionate. I'm gonna get you cleared of this crime, you said. Okay, I get the picture, but you've met me in person before, so how come you didn't realize that guy wasn't the real me? I guess, looking back now, it was a little strange. Only a little? Well, okay, so you were a bit taller than normal, and you looked a bit shady, and your voice was a bit weird. Oh, and you had this kind of funny accent, and so the guy was nothing like me then? But he had your spiky hair and blue suits. Is that all it takes for someone to imitate me? How about everyone else in the courtroom, like the judge and the observers? Didn't they realize he was an imposter? No. Everyone had these big question marks on their faces, but it seemed that no one wanted to say anything, sir. This case just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Mr. Wright, do you think it's possible to get a retrial? Probably. The court ruled in the absence of a genuine defense attorney, so we should be able to get a retrial. Mr. Wright? Do you think we'll win next time, sir? My life has been a full-course meal of bad luck, complete with defeat for dessert. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. I forgot about that. Maggie! I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. I even landed a phony lawyer when I had the misfortune of being accused of murder. But I will survive, because Maggie Bird always lives to fight another day! And one day I'll find it. Just you wait and see, sir. I'll find that one single moment of good luck. Stereotypes is really gonna pay for this. What are you staring at me like that for? But Maya's right. Oh, Maggie. Whoever it is that thought it was a good idea to use my name and get an innocent girl convicted of murder had better watch out. We'll find him. Don't you worry. We'll get Ginny out for you. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you where Tribulations is then. Right, the restaurant where the murder took place. Yes, sir. When you go, please tell Mr. Armstrong I said hi. Sure. Alright, Nick, let's go check out this restaurant and its food. Tribulations. Oh, this is a jaunty tune. Wow, look at this place. Whoa, I like smell. What is with the suffocating scent of flowers in here? Then again, girls like that kind of thing, right? Actually, I'm not all that into it. No one's coming to see us. Maybe there's no one here. You're silly, Maya. This is a restaurant, and it's open for business. Hello? Anyone here? I don't believe it. There really isn't anyone here. Perfect. Let's get intrusive. If there's no one here, we can take anything we want. Yeah, I suppose we can. Let's see here. It's a rack full of fashion magazines, and they're all in French. Why don't you try wearing something a bit more chic sometime, huh, Maya? Yeah, I guess I could. I'm always in my acolyte clothes, aren't I? It'd be fun to wear normal clothes every now and then. There's something stuffed in behind the rack. Oh, would you look at that? Looks like a sports paper to me. Hey, and look at this! Someone scribbled a little doodle on one of the pages. Is that mask to mask? MC Bomber and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. $100,000, maybe. Bomber is supposed to be. This paper, it's from December 3rd. This paper's from the day of the poisoning. What? A paper from the day of the murder. This has got to be a clue. I should see if I can find us more about this paper. I guess that's all we need to have here for a bit. Yo, Maggie, what about this paper? Oh, a sports paper. Let's see. Did Gusten Braun manage to defend his heavyweight title? That's an excellent fake name. Sorry, Maggie, that paper is actually a month old. It's from the day of the murder. And Gutson got knocked out yesterday, I'm afraid. Oh, she follows wrestling. Oh, no. I found this paper in the magazine rack at Tribulations. Really? That's strange. Tribulations doesn't get newspapers. Mr. Armstrong says he's not really fond of them. Then maybe one of the customers left it behind. Anyway, what I want you to take a look at is this scroll here. Aha! That's it, sir! MC Bomber! That was the name that was written on the CD! Just as I thought. I guess it wasn't MC Screwdriver after all, huh? So that $100,000 must be a down payment for a record deal, right? If someone gave me $100,000, I'd sing for sure. Master Curator, the Spirit Song, or even Maya's theme. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, Maya. So, if the sample CD was on the victim's table, that means this newspaper may have belonged to the victim. You're right! So, the victim left this behind on the day of the murder, huh? I think we better step up the investigation, don't you, Nick? Alright, let's go to... Tribulations again. Oh la la, bonjour, welcome to La Tribulations. Oh, hello. What happened to Maya? She's frozen stiff. Oh, hello, Armstrong. Bonjour. Welcome to my petite restaurant. Huh? The Avenue? Oh, no, my petite souris. Huh? Me? Look at his face. Like the kitten rejected by its own mother. You're fatigued, no? No, you need this. An aromatic bath oil melange of la Neroni and la Rose. My personal recommendation. You think I made what? Oui, just add a couple of drops to this mixture to the vat bottle and voila! It will soothe your body and mind. It's simply fantastic. Really? En folie, monsieur? Ooh, me? I love his chocolate eyes and his piping bag, necktie, whatever. Look at that face! Like the puppy rejected by life itself. You're fatigued, no? For you, monsieur, I recommend this. Oil of bergamot. And maybe oui. I will add the peppermint and the clary sage for a fragrance exceptional. Such a decorating recipe will bring out your delicious beauty, monsieur. My beauty? Yeah, your beauty. Alors, if you will be seated, I will bring you the special menu of the day. Actually, we're not here to eat. We're lawyers. Oh, mais bien sûr. I know this already, monsieur. You're La Phoenix Light, no? Yes. You know me? Mais oui. I never forget the man who flirts with me, especially in court. I guess these processing are very mysterious, yeah. Looks like everyone to do with this case knows who I am already. What sort of impression Geniop's been leaving on people, don't you? Allow me to introduce myself to you again. I am Jean Amscon. Enchanté. On the one hand, I love him. On the other hand... So what does très bien mean? I know très, that means 3, right? No. Très bien is français. In English, you would say very good. Oh, very good. Oui, exactement. Monsieur is très bien and la cuisine is très bien. If the food's so good, why aren't there any customers in here? My cuisine is not for all. Some people say do not appreciate the haute cuisine. I thought everyone liked hot cuisine. Since I have lost Maggie, I did not have enough hands. So you're running this place on your own now? Oui, pour le moment. No one has answered my advertisement. Pour moi. Please don't eyeball me while you say that. I am the chef. I am the manager. I am also a trained aromatherapist. A roaming what? A practitioner of aromatherapy. The art is a soothing the soul with the delicate floral aromas. Delicate? The smell coming from that bottle here earlier was anything but. What happened? So, could you tell me what you know about the incident? Yeah, it makes me sad to remember it, yet I remember it so well. More than a month has passed since it happened. Yeah, I guess it's been about a month since Maggie's sentencing. So, it was the 3rd of last month, just after 1 in the afternoon. A man who was in here suddenly, for a coffee, suddenly became ill. Because of the poison in his coffee. That is the truth, the son know it. It was Maggie who took his drink to him. I was in the kitchen. I heard the sound of someone collapsing. When I came out to see what it was, he was already slumped in his chair. He was dead. Mon Dieu, oui, he was dead. Maggie had passed out also. And this man who died, was he alone? Oui, monsieur. All alone. I know that Maggie said there was someone else, but... I see. The police, they asked me many times, are you sure there was no one else at the table? They asked. But I am not the only one. The old man says the same thing. Old man? What old man? So who is this old man that you mentioned? Oh, I love his eyebrows, actually. At the time of the murder, there was another customer in there. What? Someone else saw it? Maybe. As usual, he came alone that day. At the time of the murder, he was here. He saw it too. But he says the same thing, since there was no one else at the victim's table. But Maggie swears there were 2 people. Mais, mademoiselle, the lawyer? He cannot prove this, no? About the lawyer. That was me, I suppose. Maybe I'm so. Wow, he's the first person who said it wasn't me. Don't kid yourself, Nick. Now is the one making stuff up. Okay, so, about Maggie? Maggie was a policewoman once, n'est-ce pas? Yes, but she had to quit for, reasons beyond her control. Oui, she was a suspect in some other investigation, no? Oh, you know about that? That is why I gave to her the perfume for la happiness. Happiness perfume? Oui, blended from bergamot, like I have given given to you before. But she's been arrested again, and found guilty this time. Is this his too? That natural aroma of unhappiness must have been very strong. Just admit it, your perfume doesn't work. I'm not surprised she was the prime suspect, after something like that took place before my very eyes. Something like what? What's this guy talking about? Does this mean Maggie did have a motive? We've got to ask this guy for more info. Stat! When Maggie took the coffee over to the victim, did anything happen? Oh, Lee, I suppose you could say so. So, what happened? No, it was nothing. Look, Maggie says she didn't even know the guy. But she's still been indicted for murder. The prosecution must have come up with some kind of motive. Wait, is this true? If there was anything at all between Maggie and the victim, it could be relevant. So please, tell us anything you know. Great. Psyche locks? 3 of them? No way. What are we going to do, Nick? We'll just have to... What the... What's wrong? The Mogatama. It's gone. Huh? Yeah, what the fuck? I had it in my pocket, but it's vanished into thin air. What? Great. But I could see the psyche locks. Maybe that means the Mogatama's nearby? Mr. Armstrong, can I just confirm something with you again? The table where the victim was sitting, was anyone else sitting there? That is a question you will have to ask him yourselves. Huh? In? The old man spends all of his time down the park. The park? Oh, park? What park's that? Behind the restaurant. It is called Vitamin Square. Thank you. Je vous en prie, my dear. Let's go check out this Vitamin Square right now, Nick. Yeah. Okay. What sort of voice do I do for this guy? So this is Vitamin Square. Yeah, I see where they get the name from now. The fruits scream vitamins at you. Hey, Nick! That's the guy, right? Isn't that the old man Mr. Armstrong was talking about? That grouchy-looking grandpa? He's throwing seeds out for the pigeons. My, he's not throwing seeds for them, he's throwing seeds at them. Hi. My grumpiness threat level has just been raised to red. Hello, you. His name is impressive. Excuse me. Had a word with you? Yes! I just want to ask you a couple of questions. What's the matter with you? Can't you see I'm busy? So you don't like my seeds, eh, pigeons? He's really chucking those seeds at them. That's gotta hurt. Go on, eat this! Can I ask you about Maggie Bird? I don't know any Maggie Bird. Yes, you do. Maggie, the waitress at Tribulations. It's a disgrace, I tell you. Not a disgrace. Disgrace? An innocent young girl revealing herself like that. Revealing? You mean her uniform? The youth of today, they don't have any shame. No shame, I tell you. Not one ounce. Whatever happened to the Bushido values in Japan, like honor and modesty? What about me? I'm not wearing anything revealing. You? Your problem is you lack any sense of grace. Talk about hitting a girl where it hurts. Do you go to Trey Piano a lot? That miserable excuse for a restaurant? The garbage they serve and there's not food. Where's the sushi, the tempura, the rice? Trey Piano's a French restaurant, sir? Where do you think we are, boy? In Paris? I want real food, not those snooty snacks. What about those shameless girls? You mean the waitresses? You can see all the lands there. They're just the waitresses! They're practically naked! It's a disgrace, isn't it? Well, isn't it? Listen, it's not my restaurant. Yeah, it's a miserable excuse for a restaurant, that place. Miserable. So he loves the place. He must be a regular. But if he hates it so much, why does he keep going? Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just, if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? I like their coffee. Sir? There you are, you filthy pigeons. You want food? Take that. He must be hiding something, right? If she is, I should be able to see a psyche locker too. No way. I don't exactly have the Magatama right now, huh? Remember, Nick, that Magatama is only on loan. Better find it or else. If the world ever gets wind of this, I'm going to be in a world of pain. Alright. Ooh, there's a magazine here. It's a magazine full of job listings. You disgusting girl. Picking something someone else threw away. Throw away? Did you throw this away? Are you looking for a job? That's none of your business! Sorry. Guess I'll just take the magazine with me then. I don't want anyone else to have it. Give it back! Too bad. Now that you want it so bad, I don't want to give it up. Hey! That's mine! I love that he's just got, like, what character is that again? Excuse me, sir. Could I just ask you about this? Sir? Here you go. Help me get out of this guy. Alright. So, job listings. Mademoiselle. Yes? Are you looking for a job? What? No, I was just... Let me see. Your style is un peu different, but you have a good face. Different? Felicitations. You'll pass. I'll lie to you. Bien. Come with me. I will teach you everything I know. Nick! Help! I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Maya. Maybe I should do both? Looks like they have Maggie in questioning. I guess I've asked her pretty much anything. I'll come back if there's anything I need to ask her later. Criminal affairs! Oh look, there's the pink badger! Cute! Well, pal, have you found the evidence yet? The one's gonna get arrested? No, not yet. We've only just started our investigation. Well, whatever you need to know, I'll give you the rundown. I'm putting off all my other cases for now, pal. She's really fired up about this. I wonder why. Oh yeah, one more thing. The retrial's been approved. The court's sitting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And Godot's gonna be the prosecutor. Him. Now listen up, pal. If Maggie's found guilty again, yes, I'll make sure you get locked up good for it. Got it? Alright. So the guilty party was Maggie Bird, huh? Yeah. Back when she was on the police force, you were her mentor when she was a rookie, right? Yeah, I kept a close eye on her. I mean, not too close. You know. It's obvious you had a crush on her. Hey, what's with the funny looks, pal? It wasn't anything like... Look, sure, I was her boss when she was doing her training, but that was it. Nothing happened. Gumshoe sure is sweating up a storm over nothing. Oh, so that's it. Our big old Gumshoe has a little old crush on Maggie. I don't like her or anything. I was... Note yourself, gossip with Maya about this later. Look, pal, don't tell anyone, okay? You gotta keep it a secret, got it? Sure. And would you mind not guessing what I'm thinking all the time? Hey, tell your face, pal, not me. You don't have to be blind not to see what's on your mind. That's great. So I was wondering, could you fill me in on the victim? Glenn Eld. He was a computer programmer. I see. A programmer. He was just a regular Joe working for a small-time computer firm. Maggie never had any contact with the guy before that day. All she did was take him his coffee on the day of the murder. Hell? Yeah, Maggie also claimed to have never seen the guy before. Did the victim go to the restaurant often? Not according to the chef. Said it was the first time he'd seen the guy. And the first-time customer at that. What possible reason could Maggie have had to kill a guy like that? That's what I thought. But a motive was still somehow established in a trial. You're kidding. What's her supposed motive? Sorry, pal, I'm real busy. I haven't even got enough time to sit through these papers. Look into it yourself, okay? What could this motive have been? This isn't really a proper investigation. I'm kinda working on it by myself. Oh, that's right. The judge already ruled on the case and all the evidence is in already. The only problem is with Maggie's testimony. Yeah, this is not very good for us, huh? Look, pal, I've got a mountain of papers on this case to look over before tomorrow, so I'm just gonna say this. Maggie Bird's no liar. She's Okay, so she's a bit out there and a bit off base sometimes, but she was a good character. That's not exactly complimentary, you know. So, what do you think really happened? And just how contradictory is her testimony? The biggest problem with Maggie's testimony is the number of people at the table. Yeah, I thought exactly. Maggie still insists there was another guy sitting with the victim. Right, get this. Everyone else in the place says the guy was alone, even the chef. And then there's that CD. CD? Oh yeah, she did mention something about a CD. There was a sample CD on the table, sir. Our guys turned the place upside down. There was no CD. What? Not on the table, not anywhere in the whole restaurant, pal. But did Maggie say the victim was wearing an earpiece too? Yeah, but that was from the portable radio in the front pocket of his hoodie. A radio? Didn't have a CD player? Not it. Your phony never explained that contradiction at all. The owner of Tribulations didn't mention that CD either. I don't know why, but I get the feeling Mr. Armstrong's got something to hide. You literally saw his psyche locks! Got something to examine first. Pink Badger. No matter what, whenever I come here, that mascot's here to greet me. You got that right. That's the Blue Badger. It was my idea. I made it, and now it's the national symbol of the police force. So what's with the pink one? It's new, right? Yep, beat the Pink Badger. So one's called Blue and the other's called Pink, but they're both called Badger. You got it, they're married. So should I expect to see Baby Badger next time I'm here? What about this? What's that? Sports paper? Yeah, I found it in the magazine rack at Tribulations. It's dated the same day as the murder. You may be onto something here. And take a look at this. See this writing here? MC Bomber. Hey! What is it? I've heard that name somewhere before. Yeah, MC Bomber. Wow, he actually seems to be thinking for once. Ah, it's no good, I can't remember. And he goes back to being the gumshoe we all know and love. Hey, pal, I'm gonna borrow this paper for a bit, okay? I'm gonna get a handwriting analysis done on this scribble. Handwriting, huh? It'd be good to know more about that in any case. Thanks, pal. I bet this will turn out to be an interesting clue. Alright, let's talk about this charming chef. The chef of Tribulations, huh? You know what that chef said to me? Oh la la, your body is full of toxins. And then he gave me this bottle. What's in it? I don't know. The label says juniper. I'm under orders to put a few drops of it in my bath every day. Under orders? Yeah, you know, there's something about that lady. I mean, guy. Huh? You can't stop thinking about it. Not like that, pal. Give me a break. He's not my type. Mr. Edgeworth is. I mean, I can't stop thinking that he's involved with this case somehow. Sounds like he knows a little more. Know something more about our charming chef. So, what exactly is it that caught your attention about the chef at Tribulations? It's, kinda hard to say. The guy's probably not even connected with the case anyway. Hey, come on, detective. Didn't you say you'd give me the dirt on anything? Well, this sort of stuff is kinda unimportant Godspeed stuff, you know, Belle? Look, how about this? You go to Tribulations and investigate the place yourself. Great. And if you find out anything suspicious about the guy, you report back to me, okay? Don't suppose I get a choice in this, huh? Guess I better go find out more about the chef and Tribulations and report back to Gumshoe. Thanks for telling me where to go, game. Alright. The scent of flowers sure is strong. It's almost making me dizzy. Oh, hi! Oh, hello. She's so cute. Who was that just now? A customer? She had sort of a dark aura about her. Ah, welcome! B Avenue! Wow, what a cute voice. Hi! Oh, it's just you, Nick. Maya. Well, how do I look? Maybe you should quit being a spirit medium. Maybe, but it's kind of boring being a waitress. I mean, you're my first ever customer. Then who was that woman I just saw? Oh, since you're here, you might as well have something to eat. Let me check. Is she here? No. I am kind of hungry, actually. So, how do you like your new job, Maya? I never knew there was so much for a waitress to do. Take people's orders, bring them their food, make coffee, work the cash register. Of course, we need a customer before I can do any of that. Yeah, it's a nice looking restaurant. It's a shame more people don't come. Don't forget about the ultra cute waitress. Check out my gimme a tip smile. Hey, Nick, why don't you order something? The chef's preparing a tasty lunch set at the moment, or so he says. How much is it? It's the twin tea set, so it's $20, of course. The twin tea set. I believe I'll be taking a pass on that. It's kind of expensive. What? But you can't! Come on, Nick. It's not every day I get to be a waitress. I want to try carrying plates and working the cash register. How about cleaning the toilets? That should keep you busy. Goodness knows I do enough of that back at the office. Yeah, right. Maybe later. About the lunch. Oh, fine choice, sir. No, Kitchen! A lunch special, please! With all the extras. Drink, side salad, dessert, and gift. I don't need any of that. Just a moment, please, sir. Maya's really getting into this. So how much is this set lunch, then? $20? Oh, with the drinks, side salad, and dessert, it's $45? Hey, wait a sec! Maya! Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Here you are. Our deluxe fortified lunch set. Whoa. A dish inspired by lobster and abalone fricassee with a balsamic vinaigrette. Inspired by? Bon appetit! Thanks? Come on, Nick, hurry up and try it already! Lobster, huh? Alright, then there she goes. I'm allergic to sea fish. Well, are you hungry, Maya? I'm starving. Here, it's yours. Really? Remember, Maya, my wallet doesn't print money, so you better polish off that plate. I just remembered. I've got to clean the toilets. Hey! You can't be in that much of a hurry to clean the toilets. It costs $20, despite how unbelievably bad it tastes. Alright. How does that guy manage to make good food taste so bad? Hey, Nick, you want to take a peek at the kitchen? Kitchen, huh? Not a bad idea. Now, what was it that Maggie said again? In the kitchen, you'll get to see all the chef's greatest secrets. In the kitchen? That sounds tasty. Hey, wait up! Maya! What is it? I'm pretty busy right now. Weren't you going to show me around? There goes my plan to find some cool clue and show it off in your face. I better conduct the search in the kitchen myself. Wow. Knives, ointments, oils. And here it is, the famous Tribulations kitchen. It's my first time in here too, actually. There is a weird atmosphere in here, that's for sure. Mr. Armstrong will be back soon, so we better search quickly. Chop chop. Oh hey, there's the Magatama. Now I know I'm in a French restaurant. I've never even heard of most of these seasonings. Hey, Nick, this container has oyster sauce? What's that? Isn't that using Chinese food? Ah, look! Right there on the counter! My Magatama! What's it doing there? What indeed? So we have a kleptomaniac chef. Gotcha. What's this? It looks like a treasure chest or something. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. It's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 98, 99, 100. They're all the same too. Hey, wait a minute. What is it? There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. So what's that liquid inside then, I wonder? A troquinine, my love! Hey, Nick, we should borrow this. I mean, look how many bottles he's got. He won't miss one, will he? Alright. That's about it. Let's go to the Criminal Affairs Department. And hand off this bottle for examination. Hey, you're just in time. What is it, Detective Gumshoe? The lab got back to me about the newspaper you gave me. He must mean the sports paper with the memo scribbled on it. So, what did they say? Did the analysis turn up anything? They said the doodle was written by the victim who went out. No doubt about it. I expected as much. The victim took the paper with him to the restaurant on the day of the murder. That's our best interpretation of the facts at the moment. It's no. MC Bomb. I get the feeling I've heard that name somewhere before. Oh well, I guess it'll come back to me. Don't forget to report back to me whenever you find in the restaurant, okay, pal? Since when did I start taking orders from Gumshoe? Although, I get the feeling there's something I not get you. This was mixed in with all the other aromatherapy bottles, but it's not the same. It doesn't even look the same, wouldn't you agree? It's green! A cool bottle that doesn't smell, huh? Smells like a skunk to me, pal. Mind letting me borrow that bottle for a while? I want to send it to the lab for analysis. The victim was poisoned, so the contents of this bottle are pretty important. I had a hunch there was something funny about that chef. You suspect Gene Armstrong. I've got that guy's number. I know what his secret is. That must be the same secret Gumshoe was talking about before. Guess I better fill you in on the details. About this Armstrong guy's secret, I mean. So, what's Mr. Armstrong's secret? You ever had lunch at Tribulations, pal? Yes. So how was it? To put it nicely, it was inedible. Hey, don't worry about being nice around me, pal. You and I both know the reason that place is so empty is because of the food. I mean, the place is clean, and he's got a girl like Maggie as a waitress, so... yeah, I guess it's probably the food. Where's the good guy? He's stuck to his ears in debt. Really? How much does he owe? This is a copy of his loan contract. He's about $500,000 in the red. $500,000? Are we talking dollars? Yeah. Hey, if it was sterling, he'd really be in trouble. Sorry, that figure just took me by surprise. Yeah, this case is full of surprises. And I'd be willing to bet that chef's got something to do with most of them. That's my hunch. Alright. Tender lender, huh? Poor Maya. It looks like Mr. Armstrong's really taken a shine to her. Suppose I'll just have to let her work at the restaurant for a while. I'll go pick her up from JBN once things have cooled off. No, wait! Charlie! Charlie, my decorative plant, sort of a keepsake to remember me by. Sure, the office is a mess, but I never forget to water this little fella. Huh. See how the Gatewater's doing. There's a giant building just outside the window. It's the Gatewater Hotel, a high-class luxury hotel. The chain is getting so rich that they bought a whole chunk of the next town over and started building a huge theme park. It's gonna be called Gatewater Land. I wonder if that bellboy's gonna send me a greeting card this year, too. Aw. Let's go to Vitamin Park, shall we? Sorry, but I gotta leave you. Oh, would you look at that bike? It's totaled. The old guy's not here anymore. Drat, and I still have some unanswered questions for him. What the hell is this bike doing here? A scooter, huh? Who leaves it right in the middle of a park like this? The wheel guard and the light are busted. I guess it must have been in an accident. It's totally wrecked. Whoa! Hey! What did you think you was doing with my bike? Boston time! What? You've been messing with my new ride? Is that what you've been doing? New ride? Isn't that kind of an old model? You're just gonna pay for this? It wasn't me. I was just passing by. Hey, that was the one that covered my saddle in crap, huh? You just gotta pay, you catch my drift? No, wait a sec. I'm not a pigeon, so I couldn't have done it. A wise guy, eh? He's so orange, it's ridiculous. I beat you so hard, I feel like you was smooching the express train. Oh, you just better watch your back. This ain't over. I'm gonna round up a group of lawyers, and then he's gonna pay. Actually, I'm a lawyer myself. What'd you say? I'm Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? This ain't you, Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I am. So you're a wise guy too, huh? Because I'm Phoenix Wright. The one and only. What? Out of my way, I gotta cruise. Okay. He's gone. Surely that guy wasn't my phony. Was he? I mean, he had the spiky hair. He wasn't anything like me. Guess I better make a note of the scooter. Ridden by my phony. Pathetic. Oh, it's you. A few threats from a little brat like that. And you look like a pigeon that's got seeds in its eyes. Have you been here the whole time then? That's strawberry. I had some thinking to do. Well, like you had some cowrie to do. Right. Are you a regular at that restaurant, sir? It's just that if you Monkey pigeons, you want food? Eh, take that! And, of course, Psyche Locks. I knew it. This old guy has got something to hide. What could it be? I have everything I can do. Why is it... I hate that it's not directly next to the, badge. Again. Alright. It's time you told me the truth. Why are you a regular at a restaurant that you dislike so much? Isn't it obvious? People only have one reason to go to restaurants. To eat. To eat. Is that the whole truth? What do you mean? I don't think you go to that restaurant for the food. You insolent brat. How dare you accuse me? What proof you got? I can tell that not you nor anyone else in the world will go to that place for its food. The lunch special sucks. The proof is in the pudding. Or in this case, the lunch menu. That's the Twin Tea set. The food at Tribulations is terrible and expensive. You're wrong, it's cheap. Huh? I'm rich. I inherited money when I was a boy. Yes, I'm stinking rich. I haven't done a job at work since I was born. Other than feeding the pigeons. What a load of crock. The taste's another story, but the price, nothing to me. So you're saying that you go there because you got money to burn? Exactly. So much cash I go for a swim in my money vault every day, like that one cartoon duck. Unfortunately, that's a lie. What? You don't have money to burn, you're flat broke. Why else would you have this, where is it? Why else would you have this? Take that! This is yours, right? My magazine. Why would a rich retiree be looking for a job? I was... so what? So I was looking for a job. I'm buying a lot at the moment. I need spending money. Oh? I don't go to that restaurant for food. I just go for the Javachino. Yeah, I think you mean a cappuccino? Anyway, how much does a cappuccino cost there? $8? Those had better be some golden beans. What's your problem? Think a poor man would be better off drinking dishwater, do you? Is that it? No, I wasn't thinking that. I was wondering if the coffee there is really that great. No, it's not. But anyway, yes, that place has free newspapers to read every day. Newspapers. Exactly. They don't want me hanging around at home, so I go here. I'm sorry, sir, but there are no free papers to read at Tribulations. Take that! Take a look at this. Paper I found behind the magazine rack at Tribulations. So, what of it? This was the only paper there, and it's dated more than a month ago. What? Do you see what I'm getting at here? That restaurant doesn't get newspapers. This is just one that a customer happened to leave behind. Alright, one more. Tell me, why are you so determined to hide the truth? I'm not hiding anything. I'm going to have to put this guy out of his misery. Listen, the real reason why you go so much to Tribulations is, Maggie Bird. Take that! What are you asking me about that girl for? She was the waitress at Tribulations. Therefore, the answer to the mystery of why an old man would drink expensive coffee at a terrible restaurant is the waitress. But I don't recognize that face. And you are probably telling the truth here, because you weren't looking at the girl's face, but at her outfit. That's the truth, isn't it? You became a regular at the restaurant because of the waitress's uniform. And definitely not anything else. That uniform is all you can think about, isn't it? I can't take it. To you, that waitress was your... Enough! Please, no more. Stop saying that word! Stop saying waitress! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! So you've got something with a waitress, huh? I can get one of those lousy cups of Javachino every dime for $8! This is serving girl. Punish me! Lock me up! Really, that's not what I'm here for. You'll be the same. Another 20 years and you'll understand what it's like. You'll know how painful it is to be an old man like me. No, really, listen. Sir, stop calling me that. I have a name, you know, boy, so show me some respect. I'm Victor Kudo. Sorry, Mr. Kudo. Young ones think you know it all, don't you? Well, I'm not saying another word. I won't tell you anything more. This guy was in the restaurant at the time of the incident, which means I have to hear his testimony one way or another. I don't believe this. I even broke his safety locks and everything. I guess I'll have to try to get him when he's in a that old man? Is he still feeding the pigeons? Yeah, he fed me as well. Got a bunch of the seeds in my eyes. Oh, ouch. Hey, Maya, would you mind coming with me for a while? Huh? Me? Why? There's something I really want to ask that old man, and I need to use you for it. Sure, okay, I'll just get changed. No, hang on. Can you go like that? He's kinda got a waitress fetish. I guess? Alright. Sir? You again? Well, I see. Nick, his eyes are burning into me. It's okay, I think it's going pretty well. Huh? You're still just a little child. Run along and play on the side, alright? Play on the slide? Ah, we were so close. Just a little more and you would have spilled. Pigeon. How can we crack this guy? Excuse me, please, sir. Quiet. Can't you see I'm feeding the pigeons? Hi, Mia. Mia? Well, if you don't mind, sir, I'd really love to talk with you. Yes. Of course. Certainly. I'm Victor. Victor Kudo. Even from beyond the grave. Wow. Mia, you're the best. About the incident. You mean the man who died after drinking the Javatino? It's like he's a different person. He was quite a shack, even for me. He was a strange-looking boy. God took the Javatino over there, you see. And was the customer alone? Definitely, he was the only person at the table. He took one sip of his Javatino and he said something like, "Bleh," and then collapsed, dead. Oh, how terrifying. He is so good at listening, aren't you? I'll tell you anything, but if you want to know. He certainly seems to be telling the truth now, but it looks like Mr. Kudo didn't see this other man either. Do you like the food at Tribulations? Well, of course. I'm really quite a sophisticated man. I was a young businessman once, you know. I set up a casino in London. Really? How interesting. Eating the food at that restaurant really takes me back to my days in France. What a lovely story. London's in England, not France. Oh, yes, France is wonderful. I'd love to show you around the city sometime. It's too much. I can't take it. I want France. France is a country, you dumbass. Can't believe Mia's laughing at the guy. You visit Tribulations a lot, don't you? Of course. I mean, yes. I'd like to come and see you there. Really? Oh, you flatter me so. The owner would be delighted to welcome you, I'm sure. Be careful of that chef, my dear. The chef? You mean Mr. Armstrong? That's right, the man's an ex-con. He's an ex-con? What was he in for? Whatever did Mr. Armstrong do? Oh, no, those eyes. I can't take this. Mia's really got this guy eating out of her hand. He steals things from his customers. Gloves, handkerchiefs, little things like that. He's a pilfer, so you be careful around him, my dear. Are you sure about this? Of course, he was arrested for it once. I was there when it happened, having my Javatino. He really is a regular. Let me write you a little haiku about it. A haiku? A Japanese poem. It'll explain all you need to know about that chef. Yes, haikus are quite popular over here, too. Convicted before a wicked man or woman, repeat offender. You didn't need to do man or woman. If he takes anything again, you let me know. If it's not too expensive, I'll buy you a replacement. Poor guy, he couldn't do enough for Mia. Anyway, I think that's about it. Okay, Phoenix. That's about as much as I can do to help. Thanks, Mia. We got some really important information thanks to you. Honestly, I can't believe Maya called me for something like this. She actively called her for that? That's so silly. Anyway. Groceries. Nice. I guess it's about time to wrap up today's investigation. Had enough of being a waitress? Yeah, plus no one came to the restaurant. Oh la la, Mademoiselle Maya, no, how can you leave this? How can you leave me like this? I'm sorry. That reminds me. Mr. Armstrong had a Psyche Lock or 3, didn't he? I'm gonna have to break those. Mr. Armstrong, I hope you won't mind, but I'd like to have another word with you. Well, yes, of course. Having to go all the way over here sucks. Let's go! Maggie's motive. What is happening? I do not like this horrible feeling. I have to know the truth. What happened that day? Alone. I will confess everything, just don't let me. Huh? That was a new world record. It was a lottery ticket. A lottery ticket? The man who died here had a lottery ticket for $500,000. $500,000? Oui. But after the incident, this ticket... it disappeared. The ticket disappeared. $500,000, you say? This was the motive that the prosecution gave to Maggie. They said that she poisoned the man to get the $500,000 lottery ticket. Yes, lottery. Okay. Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? Maylo, you've been trying to hide this information about the lottery ticket from me. I want to know the reason why. Monsieur, you told me, but I confessed to you everything I know. Mr. Armstrong, the $500,000 lottery ticket. I think I know who took it. I think the winning ticket was stolen by you. Take that! You are quite the pilferer. Mr. Armstrong, I believe there is a very high chance that that it was you. Oh, no. Wow, that is one piercing screaming for a man like him. But, pourquoi moi? Why you have no evidence? I am not Master Mask. I am not the kind of person who steals the property of others. Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you have stolen from others in the past. Now the way to the next. What is this? A poem? Oh, monsieur, you know me so well. I adore poems. Please read it and put some feeling into it. Convicted before, a wicked man or woman, repeat offender. I'm sorry to have to bring it up, Mr. Armstrong, but you have been arrested for stealing from your customers before, haven't you? Mon Dieu, he was a liar. Do not put the false accusations, s'il vous plaît. So, do you have any proof? I want to see the incontestable proof that I have ever stolen from one of my customers. I mean, you literally stole my Magatama. It seems old habits die hard, Mr. Armstrong. What is that? This is my Magatama, and I found it in your kitchen. Oh! Wow, that screen just about broke some windows and shattered the Psyche Lock. I have a weakness for the little trinkets and the figurines. My hand, it just slips out, I cannot stop it. You stolen handkerchiefs, gloves, and other things for your customers, right? Oui, it is not true. I am just a timid little girl inside, monsieur. A timid little girl. Besides, this time it was not a small trinket, oui? It was $500,000. May I know? Why would I steal it? I had no need for such money. Really now? Oh, monsieur, what is it? Isn't it true that you're in some pretty serious trouble? And that you are in desperate need of a large amount of cash? Take that! This restaurant is deep in the red, isn't it? Ah. You have a loan to the tune of $500,000. That lottery ticket would have wiped out your debts. Well, Mr. Armstrong, what do you have to say for yourself now? Well, that was easy. Alright. Mr. Armstrong, you said that the victim had a winning lottery ticket for $500,000. How did you know he had something like that in the first place? The man, he was listening to the radio with his earpiece. Maggie said something about that too. And so did Gumshoe. The winning number was announced on the news, I think. All of a sudden he exploded. Yes! $500,000, he shouted. And the ticket? Oui, he had all of his tickets spread out on the table. I so desperately needed money, so I put the poison in his coffee. No. Oh, no, you naughty man. I simply have myself to one of his tickets. What? The victim collapsed and Maggie passed out. I thought to myself, pourquoi pas? He had so many of them. Yeah, but only one of them was the winning ticket, right? How could you do that, Mr. Armstrong? Maggie was arrested because of you. This is not true. I did not take it. The ticket for half a minute, I mean. But you just told us you did. You said you took a ticket. It was not. Ah! Mr. Godot! What the heck are you doing here? This is without a doubt the worst coffee I've ever tasted, Mr. Armstrong. He came in here for coffee? Thus his craving for coffee, no bounds. Perhaps Mr. Armstrong stole one of the victim's tickets on the day in question. I am the airhead, no? Just a pretty little girl who everyone is laughing at. But in that case, Maggie shouldn't be the only one under suspicion. He had the wrong ticket. What? Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket's pretty neighbor. So, the ticket he took was worthless. Not quite. He did win something. $1. You see? I had just a pretty face. Without my looks, I had nothing. So, what happened to the winning ticket then? The one he meant to steal? Indeed, what did happen to it? I don't like spoiling myself by watching trailers, so we'll just wait and see how the movie turns out tomorrow, won't we? Okay. Voila! You two, time to laugh at the pretty little airhead. Looks like I won't be needing this note anymore. Looks like we've got a new mystery now. Namely, where did the missing ticket go? Where did the winning ticket go? I've got a bad feeling about this. Well, anyway. We can't let Maggie down. We can't let her down. Alright. 2-minute break to go grab something to drink. See you in a bit. Alright, I'm back. Let's get back into it, shall we? Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggie. Hi, Gummy. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! Are you doing alright? How are you feeling? As if if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let him get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger. And you! Yes? You'd better square this case away, got it, pal? Maggie's innocent here. If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious. Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, right? Yep. So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Of course. I got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mess with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You get me? Aw, that's so sweet! I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. That's so sweet! Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. With Godot on the prosecution. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Woohoo. Ah, bitter. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? What's wrong? Nothing, it's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You was talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you're fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you I'm the real Phoenix Wright! I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. I wonder why. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony. Now, nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said. Trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation? Witness, state your name for the court. Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective. Occupation, Dick Gumshoe. Other way around, Detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation's tied up with another case now. I hope Dick Gumshoe's really got everything under control, for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe. Would you outline the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elk. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc., a local company. That's an excellent name for a programming company. That's amazing. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. Potassium cyanide poisoning. Between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poison coffee was thrown over to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused. Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were two other people in the restaurant. Mr. Jean Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Come, detective, take up this hammer, and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own two hands. Shut up. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy Glenn Elg was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, and what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, it looks like Miss Bird might have had, well, some kind of motive. Alright. Odd-numbered presses. Using the dark aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. Says you, who was literally poisoned with your own coffee during one of the trials. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around, is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me! Alright. Can I stop you for just a minute? Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And no killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction. Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. The two testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Obviously. Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. Huh. That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations, right? Huh. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes. A one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population. The defendant. Shut the fuck up. You're so pathetic. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place, correct? I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime. Now, Mr. Trite, could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? Well, he must have left, or something. It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. There's literally a screen there, and Victor Kudo was sitting at the table to the left. Come on. Alright. So, traces of the poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else. Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid, or was it a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper...
Objection!
Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite? The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee. So what should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Obviously press. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I was thinking. Well, we know Godot would drink it. In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir. Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? The coffee cup, you dumbass. This. Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the, victim's coffee cup. You can obviously see a coffee stain on there. Yes. Oh, yes, it's unmistakable. There's clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him. Like this! Chugga, chugga, chugga! For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. Okay, some kind of a motive. Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion.
Objection!
You know what my golden rule is, detective? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee. You can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket? I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. Order! Order! Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press or not? Obviously press. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 lottery ticket? Looks like a normal lottery ticket to me. One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Great! That hurts our case. Order! Order! She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately. I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. The ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial, too. But it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which he is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There's also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance. With one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggie? This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like... it can't be blood, can it? It seems the star of our little play. It seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course. I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket. A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket? Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What? Order! 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 The court will accept these items into evidence. Thank you. There's something still bothering me, Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? What do you mean, the bloodstain? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor! The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron! That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You don't need to be told, just look at it. Well, detective, could this stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron when taking someone their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Pull a stunt like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. I thought everyone knew what it was already. Well, good to know he can't see red. Make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence, they have all been clearly established. Well, Wright, it seems you really are a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. Alright. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was when the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Oh, you sure about that? You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're... Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one, so let the fun begin. Oh, trust me. I've got my doubts about this testimony. Okay, but how? Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. Quote, the victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, that. He's so let down, he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glenn Elk visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court? What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more? Ask about his health insurance? So what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty. Huh. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence. No. No, I'm not. Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective? Yeah. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. We know the CD was missing. Ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah. Interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for, but wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen? Yeah, the one the restaurant owner took. He won a whole $1 with it. What a lucky guy, eh? And they're just going to let him get away with it? It was just $1, detective. I guess no one cares when it's that little, except for Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with. And we can't find any contradictions if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true, but Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe, be the dumbest you've ever been! Lamau. Okay, wait.
Objection!
Okay, wait. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where, then, did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal. I love you, Gumshoe. Dun, 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 dun. Indeed! Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Order, order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological Otolaryngological? Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Glenelg found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of his head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. Ugh. That sounds like sensory hell. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found Trey's ear. Yes, here it is. In very, very fine print. Wait a second. Let me see his profile again. Yeah, it's on his left ear. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No! Nick! If you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right, but I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Obviously push it. Push it real good. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
Objection!
You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It would hardly seem likely that a prescription drug will contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. That's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. A witness calling another witness. Unprecedented, but I don't know if that's legal or not. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me. Yay! Good job, Nick! The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Good to know. Alright. Sandwich time. Phew, that was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How can he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. mean, the guy's gotta do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. But he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know? Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird seeds. Alright. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Hello, you. Name and occupation, if you don't mind. The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too. You don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Listen, youngin. How much do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? How much call do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do. Or did back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed. Wow, real craftsmen. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he can embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Now that witness, you were in the restaurant at the time of the incident. Oh, yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino. Seeds? What do you think these are? I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps. Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all. And please, tell the court. We're all ears. Sure, sure. I'll tell ya. I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. What I witnessed. The young man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. Yeah, you're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses. It's wireless and spectacles, I tell you. How old are you? 68. Damn it! 1 more year! Excuse me. Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Okay, calm down. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Calm down, old-timer. Go to bed. Are you sure you remember her well? You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It is a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry? You could see all the way up to her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform. So the particular features you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform, even me! And I look damn good in it! Mr. Wright, please spare the court any further mental anguish from that image. It's not mental anguish, he looks adorable. Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. Nah, there are other things I recognize about him, too. He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Obviously press harder. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would like you to add them to your testimony. Oh, sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Okay. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face. As if I wouldn't remember that. Objection. The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's more to this somehow. The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment. I'm telling you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being obsessed with straps and ribbons. But, yeah, keep that out of the courtroom for now. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. If I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. Are you sure? Because this is pretty interesting to me. Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. That filthy thing would suit Phil like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot. What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron. Is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning? Huh? And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Witness, you can't just oops your way out of this! Well, looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Wright, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird? Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what a burger a customer wanted. You can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. He was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. When the servant girl in question brought over the Javachino, the little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. You sure he picked it up with his free hand? Because it looks like it was a right-handed sip to me. I would know, I'm a lefty. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose. But it's what I do best. Phoenix! You dumbass. This was a right-handed sip. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory? I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you, nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Can't wait to hear that. Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. What is this, kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there's a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. Sing the pigeon song! You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Ah! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from. Wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, I'm wrong! I don't care about that dirty coffee cup, I know what I saw! You still insist on your testimony. That young Frau was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question, I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault! Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man! Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Kudo! Don't you sip your coffee at me! But this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. Left hand or right hand? What if there were mirrors involved? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. That would be his left ear. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. Picked up the cup, his left hand. Uh-huh. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle you're often used by programmers. Very futuristic. Very Dragon Ball. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HD TVs, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad. But they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true, he doesn't seem to be lying. And those are the facts in good old black and white. Uh-huh. Alright. On any of Kudo's statements, says this, present Glenn Egg's profile in the victim's prescription bag. I mean... I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon! Lovely pigeon song. Order, order, order! This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot, a single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Captain, are you calling me a drip? This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down, I know I'm right! The lad drank his Javachino with his left hand! Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw.
Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee.
Objection!
Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. No, it's not. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. L drank the poison coffee like this. Chill, dude. Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless. Spit take with your coffee. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court, but to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, you can't reach me from there. I have the high ground! I'm ordering the defense and prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. God damn it, Kudo. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there, I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything, but I want another chance! I want a shark! Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. I've been watching too many... Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the cappuccino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man! That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet. Much, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. You better get ready, youngster! I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds! That's good. That's a good joke. Okay, final showdown. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javicino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Let me check the crime photo again. Yeah, no he didn't. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, Uh-huh. Sure. Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Eh? You're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor defenseless old man? No, we are not doubting you, Mr. Kudo. Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah, so what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have the sky. Brain, that's why that's all you can think of. Very well. Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination, please. One sec. Okay. Final nail in the coffin.
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch! Ow! Ow! Enough. If you throw any more seeds, I will... contempt of court. What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes? Go on. The broken vase. It was on my table. What? Well, you see... It startled me when that young lad collapsed, so I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table? Yes, it was on my table, and that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Uh-huh. You can just say you peed your pants. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Wait a minute! If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh, yes, I remember something else. No more! Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. Wait, listen to me! Yeah, get out of here. Well, you seem to have been considerably sidetracked, and I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we have heard thus far. The mark supposedly drank from with his left hand, and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it! I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor. The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it accordingly into this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that. Adele's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's. Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase in my seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? That is all. This court is adjourned. Alright. Thank you all for joining me today for the first half of Recipe for Turnabout. Next time we will be finishing up, and then after that, 3-4 and the start of 3-5. Hopefully. See you next time then. And have a great day.